Using the Thrustmaster SimTask FarmStick is a great way to add some real feel to your farm sim game. But we're not covering it for the reasons you'd think. Before we get started, I should say, this is not a sponsored video, nor am I a partner of Thrustmaster yet. Welcome to the channel, I'm DeucePlays and this is FarmerDeuce. I'm making this video about the FarmStick because I think there may be some helpful ways to use it for farm sim, specifically for people who have mobility issues and only able to use one hand. This video is not a product review, rather a video on keybinds and trying out different ways to map your buttons and the joystick controls on the SimTask FarmStick. Again, these are just keybinds that anyone can do on PC or maybe console. If you enjoy this video or get something out of it, consider liking and subscribing. If I missed something or you have an idea that would add to this or aid others, please consider leaving a comment. So with all of that out of the way, let's get into this. When you load up FarmSim 25, you'll no doubt bypass the creative cutscene. You'll land on the start screen. On the left side of the screen, you will see the start screen options: career, multiplayer, downloadable content, achievements, options, credits, and quit. Before we get to the keybinds, you will want to know all the functions of the FarmStick. The SimTask FarmStick is on a 3-axis joystick with 6 buttons, 1 thumb wheel, 1 mini stick, 2 rocker switches, a trigger, and a function trigger. Along the base, you will find 18 programmable buttons. It offers an ambidextrous design so it can be used with either hand comfortably. Now let's look at a few options to set up the FarmStick. Go into the options. You will see general settings, display settings, controls, and the 3 lines at the bottom are devices. For this video, we're skipping general and display settings. Let's go into controls. You'll see across the top from left to right, key 1, key 2, mouse, and then an arrow. Click the arrow to see the other controllers you may have plugged in. After mouse, for me, is the FarmStick. Keep in mind, this will auto keybind a lot of the main controls. But for this video, there's a few we're going to talk about that you could change. Going down the left, you will see a list of actions in the game. Player movement, vehicle driving, front-end loader, crane operation, that kind of thing. Player movement may not be used as much as driving actions, but you can set up, or they may already be set up, some basic actions, such as walking forward, backward, left, right. For me, those are already set up on joystick S1, which is the main joystick movement. The bottom trigger on the back should be set to sprint already while on foot. As an added note, when you look at the button numbers in the menu, the bottom trigger is button 31. It can be used as a combination button like most keybinds, meaning you can hold the trigger and add a button for controls, like raising and lowering hitch 1 by selecting the button just under S2, which is the mini stick that has an up and down arrow called button 21 in this menu. Then for hitch 2 raise and lower, hold the trigger and press the same button. You'll see the key selection. It will say button 31 plus 21. That means the trigger is needed for hitch 2 to work. Same works for some other buttons as well. S2, or the mini stick, for me is the camera control. S2 is the mini stick at the top of the main joystick. Clicking S2 will change your camera view from first to third person, or crane arm if available. Keeping it for camera control is a good option if you move the camera a lot like I do. Moving on to driving. It may take a bit to get used to it, but using the joystick to drive I think is a great option. Let's scroll down until you find the control option for vehicle driving. Set your movements however you like on the main joystick. For me, I'm setting it as accelerate is forward on S1, the main joystick. Brake is backwards on S1. Steer right is right on S1. Steer left is left on S1. With your cruise control and camera already set, and your ability to raise and lower and turn on and off tools or harvesters already set, you should now be able to do basic farm work while only using the FarmStick. Let's say you want to use a front loader attachment or a telehandler. Well, now your gas, brake, left, and right are set to the same controls, but I have an option that may help. You can hold the bottom trigger and forward, back, left, right on the main stick or S1 to set your movements for boom arms, forks, buckets, etc. Just find what you want to change under vehicle front loader and set your button combos by holding the trigger and moving the main stick S1 to whatever direction you wanted the action to be. I have mine as 31 or the bottom trigger and S1 for forward, which is 31 and S1 backwards. For extending, I have 31 and 27, or the right rocker switch up, and contract 31 and 28, or the right rocker switch down. If you want a way to drive and use the attachment for forks, buckets, or something like stump grinder movement, it may be easier to set the rocker switches up for that. As you can see, there are so many options that can help you play in a more comfortable way using the FarmStick. And yes, Bob, you can assign your AI or GPS menu button of your choice. You can also set open your course play menu button of your choice. Just find it in the options. Set it to whatever you want on the FarmStick. Bottom line is, you can set this up a number of ways that I probably haven't even thought about. Truth be told, I didn't know if holding the trigger and moving the stick to set arm control even worked until I started making this video. Now, just as I did for the video, get in the menus, find the button combinations that work for you, and get farming. You're wasting daylight. If you have any tips that may help someone that reads the comments and has mobility issues and wants to use a joystick setup, please leave a comment. Any advice for those that may be looking for it is appreciated. If you got something out of this video, consider leaving a like. You can also subscribe and be notified when I do live streams or upload videos. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this helps in some way. I'm happy to answer any questions to the best of my ability. Have a good one. Later, folks.